Good morning, Northern Michigan. Welcome to Friday Face-Off here on Up North Sports Radio 101.1 WGRY, brought to us by TVCAirport.com. Jerry Coyne, Rich Calkins, and Gordon Miller, Miller Lending. In the studio, more news dropping about the Detroit Pistons, trying to figure out what they're trying to do.
Good question.
It was came to light that they were making a huge push for Austin Reeves. That's why they moved Isaiah Stewart out for 3 draft picks. You know,
Their own 3 draft picks. They just moved them to move up 4 spots in the draft.
they're all second round. I don't know why the NBA is so enamored with second round draft picks. They show up everywhere. I mean, I guess Jalen Brunson was a second round draft pick, so you never know what you're going to get there.
Oh, just Jokic.
And Austin Reeves is actually a undrafted free agent.
Signed the largest contract
That's
by an
right.
undrafted guy. And shocking to hear that actually the Pistons were such heavy players in trying to attain him.
I don't think that was shocking at all. He would have been a really good fit for Cade. Use your strength, man.
Shocking in the sense that to know that the Pistons behind the scenes to not hear a word about it really, and that they made a heavy run at him.
It's interesting in the sense that every name they've thrown out there, Kobe White, re-signed. It's just pick
Were
a
the
name.
Pistons interested in Kobe White?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Oh, yeah, point guard. Yeah,
I know who he is.
Right, they were interested in him just because he went to North Carolina and Langdon has the Duke connection, and it's like.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah, they wanted to play pickup ball, I think, but no, it's been weird, and now you're going to talk about tell Jalen Duren go find a team that wants to give you the max, and we'll just work out a sign and trade. Good luck. Go ahead. Go to Orlando. They love you right now.
I don't know. Obviously, I don't think Jalen Duren is the one that called The Athletic. Obviously, his agent did. And, we're so far apart on dollars that I got to get out of Detroit.
Do you remember what was floated about, 3 weeks ago? You remember seeing that? Where Jalen Duren is going to accept a 4-year, 135, and they're going to get him under market. It was like 35 AAV on that deal. And all that came back from the Duren camp is, oh, hell no. Yeah. Good for you. We're not taking that.
It's idiotic. It's stupid monopoly money at this point in life. And you take a look at, Brunson turned down an extra $120 million. They've been talking about this a little bit because he could have taken a hell of a lot more money. He wanted to build the team, like Tom Brady, the rare athlete.
Yes,
that
has
a bigger vision than themselves.
Right.
And
imagine that in a team sport,
especially in New York.
Yeah,
because you can make it up just standing on a street corner.
Well, yeah, no doubt about it. I don't think Jalen Brunson is going to want for opportunities to supplement his income.
He'll be able to feed his family.
But
no lateral sweep.
The Duren thing is interesting because now all these other scenarios are kind of popping up, which leads me to kind of scratch my head on why they moved Isaiah Stewart anyways, because the Lakers could have used him,
yes,
and the Celtics could have used him.
Celtics were looking for someone like him. Yes.
That's why I don't know. Obviously, the story about Austin Reeves was that the Lakers were not going to offer him the max. So maybe that's why the Pistons moved in, and then the Lakers pooped in their pants and go, well, we got to sign this guy.
Kind of force their hand, per se.
And yet the Lakers would have been a good spot for a Duren for Reeves deal.
Oh, I thought Isaiah Stewart on the Lakers would have been very interesting.
Yeah,
with him and LeBron as teammates.
What's interesting about Isaiah Stewart, though, is that, as you saw him fall apart at the end and couldn't even stay on the bench if there was going to be any kind of altercation, and the Charlotte game and then the next one and the suspensions that were starting to build, I would say there has to, not that we're talking to anybody inside the organization, but you would have to think that there's a part of them that just says it's time to move on. He is going to cost us a very, very important game one day because they're going to goad him into retaliating.
He had a lot more value to some other teams than 3 second-round draft picks to go to the Memphis Grizzlies. That's all I'm saying. Hindsight is 20/20, and we'll see what kind of player they add. if they can't make a deal. I mean, I would love to see Jaylen Brown in a Piston uniform. I mean, I don't know. I mean, those things seem to be headed for a collision course. Like, what is equal value, though, for Jaylen Brown? The Celtics are in a bad place here.
Without having Stewart as part of a package, now you're starting to get into.
Well, then you're talking about Duran.
Now you're starting
Yeah.
to talk about losing key pieces. That's other than just Ron Holland, who apparently they just want to get rid of all team toughness right now.
Well, obviously there's a problem with Holland and either JB or some other things that went on there, because when they had to play him in the Cleveland series, he actually played pretty well.
Right.
I mean, he's a good basketball player.
He is.
For
He's a tough defender.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's athletic as heck, but he always appears to be in the doghouse.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about.
No, it's this is the crazy season, right? Where
It
every
is.
single name, I've heard LeBron.
Yeah. Oh, they were talking about that because
Windhorst says, "Oh yeah,
goes on one
they
of the
could afford."
and it was a throwaway statement.
I
He said they
watched
could
it again,
They
right.
could even get someone like LeBron James as just a.
Right.
It was a throwaway statement, but then the talk show guys. 97.1 grab a hold of that, and they're like talking up like on Carson. I'm like going, guys, that was a throwaway statement. It didn't mean LeBron legitimately. It was kind of, if they wanted to, they could go get LeBron. And then, it was 4 hours of entertainment.
And then they're talking about LeBron at $28 million. LeBron James is not.
He won't take a discount.
He didn't even say. He said he's not going to take $28 million from the Lakers.
Well,
And
yes.
and Bronny, he's going to want $28 million for Bronny.
I don't think that's going to happen.
It's a package deal.
It's not quite what LeBron's making,
It's
Gordon.
not- I
I thought you were a financial guy. LeBron James is Bronny
I heard
James is
this.
making the league minimum.
Yes.
Yes, okay, and he will continue to make the league minimum for the rest of his NBA career.
Well, if LeBron leaves the Lakers, Bronny may be working as LeBron's driver.
Or on the production staff of
Right.
whatever the A24 films or whatever the hell his company is called.
But
No,
I mean,
LeBron James is not going to be in a Detroit Pistons
Not
uniform
at all.
ever.
No,
Well,
exactly.
and to tell you how crazy this season gets with all the silly rumor season, Kawhi Leonard has come out and said he will not sign an extension with Detroit.
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was happening. Gee, okay. Let's just rule it out right here. In case
Well,
you were
look at-
thinking of Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi's not going to sign an extension with
With
anybody.
anybody. Toronto.
Right.
He said he'd re-sign with Toronto.
He hates everybody except for the Clippers. But who else is going to dirty deal him an extra 12 mil, to supplement the cap? Or
Well, Toronto will, because the Canadian dollar is only
No,
worth
I don't think
60%
so.
of it.
I don't think.
Yeah, right?
The Pistons are a much more likely destination for Kawhi Leonard than him going back to Toronto.
I've heard different, but
Really?
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
who told you that?
Mr. Internet.
What? How could the web be wrong?
Right.
And there was a French model right next to him. I mean, that's what the Internet's for. You meet French models, you read Kawhi Leonard rumors.
I've never met
yes.
a French model online, so maybe I'll have to look at that. I'm glad Cheryl doesn't listen to this
Late at
radio
night,
program.
I say off that stuff, Gordon.
I need a Latvian. I need a Russian wife.
Well, ask Keith. Keith speaks Russian, and there's your translator.
Okay, yeah.
Right, there you go. And then you won't understand when she's yelling
It's
at you. You'll
midnight.
think
Keith, what are you doing right now?
he's probably listening.
I got Olga Venskinskaya.
And I've drafted her, and I need you to tell her.
What does this statement mean?
So, obviously Langdon, who said, we like our core and everything else, apparently does not like his core as much as he said that he did. It doesn't seem that there's anything happening with the Troy Murphy thing.
Trey Murphy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they just asking so
Troy,
much? And
right,
of course,
Troy.
we know Joe Dumars is, involved with that.
I think it's just too early. Everybody is sniffing everything out. I think July 1's a big date for the NBA, so you've got time. And I would think that when that Memphis trade is done, because they don't make them official.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just going to be the Pistons traded Isaiah Stewart to move up 4 spots, because those were the 3 seconds we gave them to move up 4 spots. They gave them right back to us for Isaiah Stewart. It was like a delayed trade.
Yeah.
It's like, well, we haven't told Isaiah yet, so can we wait like an hour, and then we're going to deal him and give us those 3 picks back.
What about the LaMelo Ball deal?
Yeah.
We were talking about that down in Charlotte, because you had brought up during the playoffs about how, it's probably big talk down there. We saw that. What about it? Remember the playing game against Philly? Mm-hmm. Ball looked like the team was only him.
Yeah.
And Charlotte has a lot of talent that isn't Ball. And I watched those games, and he's putting up threes, and they could be down 15, and it's all about me. And
Oh, yeah.
good luck in Minnesota with Ant.
Well, he comes by it naturally.
Oh my God! Yeah, it didn't fit what Charlotte wanted. So they gotta, that was
No, I mean,
wasn't
he
expected.
averaged
But
7.5 assists a game, and it's going to be an interesting fit with the Ant-Man there.
Yeah.
I miss
but-
Dad. Where's Mister? What happened? He's so quiet since they've been in the NBA.
Still working on the Big Baller brand.
I want to hear from him, man. Right? Where's Big
but,
Baller?
The Timberwolves got rid of Randall. Now they get rid of what's his name?
Nas Reed.
Who's a pretty good,
Which is
Nas
the-
Reed
that-
is a better version of Paul Reed.
Yeah, I like that guy.
Yeah,
Actually.
he's a good basketball player, and but I guess a couple of their they signed a sumo or
the Illinois guard there. Yeah.
I kind of
I liked him in college.
No, I liked him coming over to the Pistons.
Oh,
they
yeah.
signed him to a pretty big deal. He was going to be a restricted free agent. It's just, it seems like Langen's got a plan, but it's not an easy plan to execute.
Yeah.
So
And it also sounds like he's got a mole, because
a mole.
Well,
Got a mole in the organization.
well, if you're all of a sudden the Lakers max out Austin Reeves, and all that I read was that they thought the Pistons were going to make the run on him,
Swoop
like
in.
somebody from the agent just said, hey, Detroit's going to go max on him. Do you want him or not? I mean, it's like they got
think about
played.
who
Got played,
Well,
yeah.
you also got to think about who the GM for the Lakers is.
Well, Rob is from Michigan. He's a local guy.
Well, he's also
probably-
was an agent for 20 years.
Got some connections.
That has worked out better than most. Like Lon Rosen, who's the president of the Knicks, was the biggest agent in the NBA. He ended up figuring out how to put all these pieces together that the Knicks always flubbed on for 25 years.
Right.
So, and the Pistons have had David Falk in their fold for a long time. I think there's a lot of validity to having somebody, a guy that knows the inner workings of the league and contracts and players, and all these guys that are still representing players probably worked in these organizations with Rosen or Falk or Pelinka. So that's just my own 2 cents worth on there. You need a guy that was an agent in your
Yeah, it certainly helps.
in your fold.
That sounds like a vast overpay for us.
Well, I think Jalen Rose got on the phone with Rob and told him, "Hey, Pistons are going all in. Trust me on this one."
The Pistons got a lot of money available that they don't want to give to Jalen Duren,
Right.
Which I don't think they need. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, there's a need for centers, but the Lakers cannot afford to pay this max deal to Duren.
No.
And the Celtics certainly can't. So the teams that really need centers don't have the money to pay Jalen Duren.
Well, and I'm kind of glad the Pistons are kind of long playing this a little bit and not going to give him a super max or anything crazy like that, because that certainly was the concern.
No.
Regular season.
Not unless he can come back and go, okay, for $174 million, I promise that I'm going to make I will turn myself into one of the better mid-range jump shooting centers in the league.
Which is
you know what? I'm good with that. Then go ahead. We'll
Yeah.
pay you whatever you want.
Isaiah Stewart tried to become a three-point shooter.
He did try.
He did, yeah.
He did. He
And
made
actually,
some.
He
made
did.
some.
I was impressed.
He made 3 of them in the playoffs. You know, those were impressive shots. And you know, Jalen Duren tries to handle the bat. It's amazing to me when I see him, you know, start dribbling at half court or whatever. That people don't pick his pocket. What are they afraid that he's going to swing an elbow?
Right. Yeah.
You know,
collateral damage going in.
because he is the worst ball handler since Chuck Nevitt.
Yeah.
I think they need a point guard.
They dribble so high. He dribbles so high, and it's just like,
slowly.
It's methodical, and you're like,
you know, and his handle is not what I would classify as good.
So that 3-pick first-round draft we
not
had
going to confuse him with Curly Neal.
turning into nothing, because that was Isaiah Stewart, that was Duren, and then that's Sadiq Bey.
Who?
Sadiq Bey.
Bey. Oh yeah.
Sadiq Bey.
I still
Got
see him
traded
in the
to Atlanta
NBA every
years
once.
ago.
I see him in a
He's still hanging around.
box score.
But you know that, and,
Kind
and
of a small
Killian
forward.
Hayes and Jaden Ivey. Wow,
Wasn't Sadiq a UConn guy?
what a bunch of bad draft picks. Jeez, he might have been, but you know it's the draft really hasn't had anything other than getting screwed, so that you fall to Ron Holland as opposed to anybody that could have helped, like Wemby. But that's okay.
Yeah, or who was it last year? We missed out by one spot. Damn, I can't remember. Neither the Wings, the Pistons or the Wings have had a lot of lottery luck, other than Cade Cunningham. I mean,
Right.
Darko. They got lucky, but they just picked Darko. Larry Brown.
as somebody pointed out when they brought up that list, and Darko was going to go in the top 4 in that draft no matter what.
Right.
And I had just seen Carmelo win a natty
I understand that.
in New Orleans.
I mean,
I was there. I'm like, you're going to pass on Carmelo for this young Dirk who spends his life on 8 Mile. Oh, my God.
you know,
He had never seen a strip club before.
Okay, with that, we will head to a break here on Up North Sports Radio's Friday Face-Off, brought to us by TVCAirport.com.
We had the best TVC.
Welcome back to Friday Face-Off here on Up North Sports Radio. It's time for Destination MLB. Kevin Klein is digging through the airport schedule to come up with the latest and greatest fares. Man, the airport is so busy, Kevin. Kudos to you and your whole team. I don't know. It's not even the same airport anymore.
No, we're rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
Summer is here for sure, which is awesome. You know, we are just seeing all kinds of people coming to visit, but we're also seeing our locals traveling out to go, really enjoy what our nonstop flights have to offer. And, so it's been amazing to see what the summer activity. May, we're up 13%. I think June, we're going to see similar numbers. And so we just thank everybody for wanting to fly.
Yeah, no. When I was there yesterday, the nonstop traffic of people, offloading right on the curb and getting into the airport, you had to have increased the length of your the ropes to keep people in line to get through security, and it still moves very quickly. It's still so convenient. It's just it's a beehive of activity. So
we change our focus to throughput on everything we do, on everything we literally do for the summertime activities. And so, but what it means is, hey, let's plan a little ahead of time coming out to the airport instead of that last-minute drop-off. Maybe plan a little extra time, especially if you're checking bags, because the airlines do have 45-minute cutoffs and so on and so forth. So let's be on time. Let's be ready to go, and definitely enjoy your trip. But we've got some great fairs coming up.
Where you got us headed?
Well, first of all, the New York stuff is still hot. If you try to get some last minute stuff out there, we see fares all over the place, as low as we saw it as low as $354. But if you try to go last minute on Monday, that price skyrockets to like $1,400. So you need to go a little bit early, maybe go on Saturday or Sunday and save yourself almost $800. So again, planning on when you're traveling is a great thing. Also, looking out at the LA games coming up, we're seeing those numbers in the 400s. Those are definitely going up a little bit. It was 349 last week. And then you have the Cubs at 467.
Okay.
So not too bad in that area. Athletics in Sacramento. That's still at 520. So that's doing well. And as we get into the August timeframe, though, this is kind of the odd one that's out there. That's like 860. So that's a little bit different when you look at some of that stuff. But it's called planning, and on those trips.
Kevin, what about that weekend when they're in San Francisco? There's a couple different ways to get there. You can fly into San Francisco or San Jose.
Yes, you can. You can. So when you look at that, hold on, I've got to find my notes. I lost it in my notes. I just had it. It's it's cheapest to go into San Francisco at $736 at the moment.
Okay.
And so I expect that to change a little bit as that is fluctuating, because the reason I expect to change is the air carrier that's leading that fare right now is Delta, and that's a normally United hub. So I'd say that's probably going to change here.
Okay.
And be closer to what I would say is that $500 mark as we see. So, yeah, definitely when we look at some of our West Coast stuff, it's really different. And I think you have some of the fact that, when you look at some of the West Coast stuff, you had some of the World Cup flights competing with that as that shakes out now as we get into our elimination tournament as we go forward.
All right. Do you, any change in the price to Frankfurt?
No. Actually, it came down $2.
Two more bucks.
Actually, I should say that. No, it came down even more. It's now $9.05, so it came down $45 since we last talked. So yeah, keep watching that one, and I think that is going to be. Each day that goes by, I'm more and more thinking maybe the trip to Munich is
not the worst idea in the world. All right. Kevin, where do we find all these great fairs and destinations?
At tvcairport.com.
Thank you, sir. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay. I wanted to hang up with Kevin before we talk about Terry and Arnold.
Oh, gee.
Hey, that's the way they handle things in the neighborhood.
Yeah, pistol whipped the guy on.
That's not
on
Mr. Rogers' neighborhood.
Facebook or on
Yeah, Facebook
FaceTime.
Live.
No, I'm
Oh,
FaceTiming.
FaceTime.
Yeah, there
Yes,
you go.
exactly.
Did you hit him? See, I did.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, well,
Do you know the views I got on that?
First and foremost, okay, here's question number one. If you're Airbnb your house and you leave Rolex watches and cash in drawers, how smart are you? I mean, this is a guy that went to the University of Alabama. You've got to think he's got to be, pretty smart, right?
no. He didn't go to class.
Did he?
Why would he have to go to class? He played for Saban.
Yeah, the very tail end of Saban.
He probably had that house when he played for
We
Alabama.
moved up 4 spots for him.
I know.
Well, it was and
Ennis
we didn't.
Rakestraw better
we-
have like the greatest year in the history
because
of
that
the
draft
NFL.
class is
he
looking around.
better, he
We
better
did-
come
we did-
back and play every down,
Yep.
and you have 9 interceptions and 60 tackles.
Good thing we passed on Jalen Carter due to character issues.
Yeah, and yeah, isn't that the truth?
And
Well,
why they
yeah.
wouldn't, we didn't have. I mean, I love the NFL passing on the supplemental draft.
Oh,
for
yeah,
Brandon
exactly.
Storsby.
Wait, we're going to stand our ground on this.
Well, we don't have enough time to investigate, if he's going to be a gambling problem going forward. Okay.
Well, we could bet on that. Polymarket. What are the odds Brandon Sorsby will not become the next Art Schleister and get banned from the NFL for gambling on his own games? News at 11.
Did Schleister, did they actually prove that he bet on professional football? I don't think they did.
I know he went back to jail.
I thought he was.
I'd have to look it up. I
thought it was a lot of horse racing that,
Was that what it
Yeah.
was?
I forgot to ask him that night.
This was before they had OTB or anything else, so he was betting with bookies on horses.
All right.
I think. I don't recall. But
I had my chance to ask him because he pulled up alongside my buddy and I on A1A down and heading to Fort Lauderdale Airport, and he didn't really know the way. And he rolls the window down looking for directions. We're like in our 20s, all of us, all 3 of us. And he rolls his window down, and I'm like, that's Schleister. What the hell is Schleister doing here? And he's like, can you tell me how to get, so-and-so? And then he says, I beat you guys twice. And I said, Schleister? And he said, yep. And I said, well, then you turn the other way, head toward Palm Beach, take a left.
Okay.
When you get to Tampa, you're right there. See you later, Art. And you can bet on that.
yeah, you can bet on it. You can bet on that. For
I would
sure.
not steer you wrong.
The,
No, that is wild with Sorsby, though, that they just kept suing, kept trying to get him eligible. Then the Big 12 steps in. Then Texas Tech says no. And then the NFL says, yeah, we're not even going to let you do a supplemental because now we're going to apply the rules.
Yeah.
Right now. Do you know how many players are probably gambling through DraftKings?
Well, you can gamble. God. You can be an NFL player and gamble. You just can't gamble on professional football.
Right.
And what did JMO do?
I don't know.
JMO must have been pre-rule because he got.
No, he only got one game though. They changed it.
Wasn't it because it was on the premises? It was on the practice facility. It
Yeah,
was,
they
if he would have
changed-
stepped
God
across
forbid.
Outer Drive,
They
he would have been
changed-
fine.
They
God
changed
forbid.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because, as it turns out, like half the NFL owners own positions in
FanDuel or DraftKings or
Right.
any of them. Yeah.
360.
And the NFL accepts millions of their advertising dollars.
course they do.
And so, yeah.
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 And every
strange
announcer
bet
will
power.
say, well, this game isn't over yet. There's still the audience is still interested in do they score here in
Of
the last
course.
18 seconds or do they take a knee? And every game is different that way,
Yes,
too.
Terry and Arnold has taken the worst bad beat.
Yeah. Too bad Scott Pelt's
Yeah.
It's his
on
first
vacation.
offense, though. Maybe he'll just get probation. He's not a flight risk other than to Germany, which he probably now couldn't go anyway. So much for the Germany game. So much for any game.
So much for you can't say what the impact on the Lions is going to be. I mean, he was what he said at mini camp that he was 75 to 80% healed, and they were counting on him to come back. But Campbell had kind of said, well, we'll see it's going to be what it's going to be. Campbell was pretty tight-lipped about everything at this mini camp, right?
Right.
I know they were talking on the ticket about potential free agents that are still out there that can play corner. If DJ Reed can stay healthy and play up to his level that they were counting on.
He was the first 3 or 4 games. He was good, and
Yeah.
then he got hurt.
Yep.
And then when he came back, he was not
awful.
He was horrible.
Yeah.
So it wasn't the same guy. So if we get the guy that was the healthy guy in the beginning of the season, he was good.
And Arnold wasn't exactly a lockdown corner. So I don't know really how much this is going to hurt, other than you've just got to bring another body in.
Yeah.
Because, corner, they made it to the NFC Championship game with Kendall Vildor. So,
Vildor played some pretty good
And
football.
Vildor was right there when it bounced off his helmet. I mean, he legitimately had good coverage
Yeah,
on
he
the
did.
guy.
It hit
That-
him in the head.
but it
that
just
that
happened
face
to-
mask broke up a pass.
Oh,
It just
my gosh.
happened to go right to him.
Yeah,
But,
I mean,
they've filled gaps before because they've had tons of injuries
And
before.
Arnold's issue was always penalties, too.
Emmanuel Mosley might be.
Always.
What about Mosley? He might be out there still. Year 6 of trying to rehab that knee. Get a game out of him, maybe.
Don't talk about rehabbing knees. We got Kirby Joseph stuff to talk.
Oh, my God.
Kirby and Brian Branch.
Brian
and
Branch with
now
the Achilles.
Terry and
I mean,
Arnold. And
two of the top safeties in the NFL were like, "Oh, this is awesome." And both of them.
And haven't they both been extended? Didn't he extend them both?
No, not Branch.
not Branch.
Yet.
He didn't get to
Okay.
Branch yet. He just Kirby's got.
But Kirby
Kirby-
Joseph, my thing is,
payday.
they come out after he didn't play. They're like, he's got a chronic knee. You just gave him a huge extension. You didn't do a full physical on this guy to know his knee was chronic. I mean, chronic doesn't mean it just popped up.
Well,
He was
I mean,
he was
it
week
just-
to week for 3 months.
It was like, dude, you
They
guys
never- they
gave
never
him
ruled
this
him out.
huge extension. I would think before you.
well, maybe
do that.
he didn't complain about the knee when he was still up there, and
Before he signed the contract.
I'm just-
and-
you know,
Maybe there's a
Oh,
clause.
sure, but
maybe
it's
there's a
just-
clause in the contract. We don't.
I mean-
we don't know. But I mean,
I don't know what shows up in those X-rays and those MRIs
Right.
because it's chronic. I
Other than it would spew off a lot of heat, but that's about it. I mean, you'd see it in MRI imaging.
I don't care about any of it. As long the biggest question mark that the Lions are going to have is how easily and how quickly is this offensive line going to be able to meld and play. That's just, this. If they can't run the football and protect Goff like they did for the past 2 years, and how bad it fell apart in the second half of the season, that
they're in big
everything else
trouble.
is moot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They should. I'm equally worried about the pass rush because if you're going to be short in the secondary,
better get
if
to
we
the
have to go
quarterback.
another year with watching nobody on the opposite end create any pressure, I'm gonna let
Well,
my
what makes you think that Moore won't
tickets
be any
go.
good?
just the lot that they've been trying to fill that spot since they've
But what
drafted
makes you
Hutch.
think you saw enough Michigan football? The guy has got legitimate athletic skills.
But they also used him situationally, so it's a matter of seeing him play 3 downs. That was the thing that was weird about watching Michigan games is when it would be time for just an all-out pass rush, Moore would be in the backfield, and then he'd come off the field. So on first downs on a running play, they'd take him off the field, which I didn't understand because the guy couldn't be blocked. But hopefully his size and everything translates in. I was all excited about James Houston for a minute.
Well, who is the defensive coordinator that's no longer going to be at Michigan?
I forget. I'm blanking right
Yeah,
now.
I don't.
Wink Martindale.
Wink,
Oh.
wink, 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 wink.
That's the way they play in the NFL, not necessarily in college football. So, I mean, that's going to change. The stories that I've got coming out of Ann Arbor with the whole Utah regime and it's half his coaching staff
Yes.
and everything else, things are going to be really different on the field.
Oh, they'll be real physical.
Yeah.
Ohio State hasn't seen physical
No,
yet.
they have not seen physical at all, and they've got it's mauling 101.
Yeah.
Anybody who's watched Utah saw that for years.
That's right.
Right.
And they
So-
brought in their strength and conditioning guy.
It was always
To
O-line
get
and
them
D-line.
prepped for what is expected here.
was always O-line
Bryce
and
Underwood
D-line.
has a quarterback coach.
Yeah.
So that's something new.
Yeah, and
He's
I tell you what, the
he's a
car
mess.
kid in this, and I know it's a spring game. The car kid can
Well,
fling
that
the
means
pill.
nothing to me.
Well, I
Absolutely.
know, but I'm telling you.
But all the other stories that are coming out is that Bryce Underwood is a bust.
oh, I don't. Yeah,
So
see,
I'm just,
I don't.
I'm
yeah.
just saying, you've got guys that say, like
Those stories are coming out of Columbus.
That's
They're just jealous. And they're stuck with Matty P, so good for them. That pencil is still in the ear.
it's going to be a fascinating season in Ann Arbor because you've got a brand new regime. Like you said, the offensive line is going to maul. They're going to have to.
It's going to be
Michigan
real tough
schedule
to
is-
run on
is
to run on
brutal.
them. To run on them is going to
they
be
could
impossible.
get mauled. I mean,
I'm just saying they
that's-
play
Oklahoma early. They've got Indiana at home. I mean, the home schedule this year. Talk about how
The home
bad.
schedule is fantastic.
Last
if you wanna
year's
see
home
football.
schedule was awful,
Yep. Yeah.
and now they've got. And here's
got
my
everybody.
problem: they got 5 home games in a row. I think to start the season.
No,
which
they've got one off.
they got one off.
Yeah.
Because I know they started at the road the first month, and I'm like, oh great. And we have a wedding, but fortunately, I looked at the schedule. It's the weakest game in the non-conference.
Right.
Like, okay, thank you guys. It wasn't Oklahoma. I started to panic. I'm like, no, this is a tough call. What time is the wedding? What time will the game end? I can make it. How many times do we try to make that? Oh, you're at the wedding and you're watching the game on your phone.
Right.
Just remember to turn the sound down and don't be that person that jumps up in the middle of the ceremony and says, touchdown.
Western on the 5th, Oklahoma on the 12th.
Bingo.
UTEP on the 19th.
That's the game I'm missing. UTEP.
Okay.
Iowa on the 26th. So you got the first four games.
The whole
then
month.
they're at Minnesota.
The whole damn month at home. I hate that.
But and then you got
It's tough
Penn State
travel.
coming into town, Indiana coming into town.
I can't wait for that one.
Michigan State is at U of M. Michigan's got to go to Oregon. UCLA
Ooh.
will be coming in November 21st, and then they're at Ohio State.
UCLA's on the road, isn't it? I thought Michigan ended their home schedule
No,
earlier.
UCLA is at.
So that'll be
Dallas.
the next day that we leave
That's
for Carolina.
That's
okay.
the last home game. November.
And then we'll leave for North Carolina right after that game. You just made my winter schedule. Because I have tickets to the Ohio State game. I'm apparently going to go down
You're going to Columbus.
going to Columbus.
Okay.
We have a radio station we work with there, so they're like, "Oh, come to the game." I'm like, "Okay." I don't have anything to wear that color.
The
No scarlet and gray.
No, I
Yankees that
never,
way.
The wardrobe.
never bought Scarlet and Gray.
All right, who knows what we'll talk about next here on Up North Sports Radio's Friday Face-Off, but it's sure to be funny.
Oh, you should have been here last week. Best show ever.
No.
show on video.
Okay.
Welcome back to Friday Face-Off here on Up North Sports Radio 101.1 WGRY, brought to us by TVCAirport.com. Jerry Coyne, Rich Calkins, Gordon Miller, and we will be giving you the email or the website to the Gordon Miller life story.
Oh, I got a bunch of them.
Yeah.
You have no idea, Jerry.
I have an idea.
Oh, very small idea.
Yes.
Tapping
Like
into
all
those
my
stories.
thoughts.
I've got
They're very,
stories.
very small.
Everything you mentioned, I left some of those stories out. I've got it all.
So, it's hard not to kind of comment on the stuff that we hear on the ticket because
Sure.
it's here on the radio all the time. But I have such Dylan Larkin fatigue already. I can't even stand it. Just make this deal with Dallas and have the whole thing go away.
I'm ready. I mean, I
How
expect.
good is this guy, the guy that they're talking about?
The Robertson guy?
Yeah.
Oh God, that's who
He's-
they're talking about.
That's, yeah.
Robertson's great.
He's really good, yeah.
He's their best offensive forward.
He scored 40 goals a couple different years. and-
Why
The
would-
last 3 years he had over 100 points.
Yeah.
Why would they trade him for Larkin? I mean,
They can't afford him.
I watched.
Yeah, I think
oh
it's
my
the
God!
salary
I
cap
watched
issue.
Dallas play in person twice this year, and number 21 stood out.
If Stevie could swing the
Oh,
deal and get Robertson, that's huge.
He stood out.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a top forward. If I was Dallas, I wouldn't make that deal. But if they got Robertson in a package for
According to what they were
Do it.
saying on the radio today,
do it.
they allowed him to go out and get a deal, and Seattle was willing to give him 8 years at $15 million each.
Whoa.
And he turned it down.
Yeah, he's good.
Because he doesn't want to play in
In
Seattle.
Seattle.
Oh,
Right,
okay.
that makes sense. Rains every day.
Yeah.
So, and the kid's from Detroit.
Oh, I mean,
Is it-
that's
Whether
crazy.
he's from Detroit or he
Or
played in the
he played-
National Development.
right,
Deal.
right. I mean, isn't it almost every one of these play? They almost seem to have some Detroit connection.
If you played junior hockey in
Yeah.
the United States,
You played
went
it.
through
the end.
Yeah.
You went through here.
Was it
Yeah, oh,
Plymouth? Was it or something like that?
It was in Ann Arbor. Now it's in Plymouth.
Oh, okay.
Well, the thing that would hold back Stevie, of course, would be the same thing that held him back on Hughes, because I'm assuming that Robertson has 1 year left on a deal,
100%.
right? Which is why he wouldn't go ahead and pick up Hughes unless he had a contract in
Well,
place.
according to the story, and
That's double
it's
what Larkin's
according to-
getting,
No, Hughes wouldn't sign the extension,
Yeah.
right?
and so what he wanted to test it out for 6 months. I don't know.
But you would have to have thought at that point with Larkin, DeBrincat, and all those Kane, he would get in the fold and like it, and probably would have qualified.
I'm wondering if we're getting into a situation, and here's something that I haven't heard floated on the ticket.
What about
we're
Quinn
getting into a
Hughes?
situation where Stevie Yzerman, thinks too much like the hockey player that he was, and that is not the mindset of today's athlete.
Right.
He got not lucky, but he hit on a lot of lower draft picks in Tampa.
In Tampa.
And they weren't all 5'9" and 160 pounds either.
No, but I mean,
They had big forwards on Tampa.
who's the goalie?
Which one?
Tampa's goalie.
Shesterkin?
No.
God, I'm blanking again.
Yeah, he's he's won.
all world.
Yeah,
I keep thinking of Bobrovsky for Florida. I can't get
It's not
them.
Javi Bulin.
No.
But that guy, the goalie who's been in net for them, that saved their ass 100 games, it was a 6th-round draft pick from Russia.
Right.
So there's a certain amount of luck of drafting players deeper in the draft and having them hit, right? And that hasn't happened in Detroit. And you've got a situation with Dylan Larkin that you're going to have with DeBrincat, where not only do I want to be very well compensated, I want to play on a winner instead of putting your bootstraps on and making the team a winner. I mean, what situation did Stevie Yzerman land in here when we drafted him? 3rd in the draft? It was a cesspool.
Dead Wings.
That was the Dead Wings, right?
Yeah.
Right in, yeah.
The Harkness darkness.
And how the Wings were able to turn the whole thing on its ear is, getting guys out of Russia illegally.
Well, let's do that again. Keith, are you listening?
Yeah, that was that.
Who can we get out of? There's got to be like a really high level hockey player in Cuba. Let's try that one next. Let's go around the
I
world.
don't know if Cuba's a hotbed for hockey talent.
I didn't know that Florida and Carolina and Dallas and Vegas and Utah were hockey
And they
hotbeds.
want to add another two more teams to the NHL.
Of course.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What's the answer? Expansion.
Yes.
That's the answer to everything. Expansion.
Canada needs more teams.
According to the buy-in is $3 billion,
Wow.
and the two of the $3 billion goes to the existing owners, and the league gets the other $1 billion. That's
I'm still stuck on Robertson. I mean,
that's the story.
Yeah. That's.
because that's too easy. You got Lights down there, who worked for the
course.
Wings forever.
Yeah, he was married to an Illich.
Well, he was married to Denise, and yes, and so they had a nice young man, Sam, who's working with them as well. But
Are you thinking Vasilevsky?
I couldn't see
the
it.
goaltender from the Lightning.
Yeah.
But I mean, if Dallas were to say they couldn't afford him, the thing about Detroit is they don't have anybody over $10 million.
No, they don't.
So how the hell would that
No, well,
work?
Larkin's getting paid what?
Eight and a
Yeah.
half.
Yeah, so teams are looking at him right now as a deal because he's got what, 3 more years on it?
Well, what was Hughes making? I mean, Hughes had to be making over 10.
Well, I was just going to say Hughes didn't sign any kind of extension yet.
Right.
That I'm aware of. So he's got 1 year left. He's a free agent after this season. Would they not have any indication?
Well, that was the other thing.
That he's not going to re-sign with them?
We'll wait till Hughes is a free
Right.
agent and
Yeah.
get him without compensation.
Because Minnesota should know right now if they're going to be able to re-sign him or not. If you're not going to re-sign a guy like that, then get a haul.
Yeah.
But boy, I mean, geez, yeah, Robertson in Detroit would be the best forward immediately, by far, and he's got an edge to him too. I mean, he's nasty, a little bit nasty.
Well,
Good. Certainly need that.
That is, I am by no means an expert in
Make it happen, Jer.
the inner workings of the NHL, but unfortunately, it appears that Stevie Yzerman is not either.
Oh God, when's the last big name trade he's made? I don't remember one. I'm thinking. Nope, don't have one.
Okay, there you go.
Just draft picks. But
Detroit Tiger baseball
Why?
is on the air. What do you mean why? I understand what Gordon was saying. Well, why don't you just say it? You can say it. You're out. You're done.
44.
You've been listening to Mike Valenti.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Big fan.
I'm out.
Big fan.
No, it's 44 or 45 straight games with the starters not giving up more than 4 runs in
Right.
6 innings. You should have won 30 of those games. And they had a stat this morning. It's like 24 losses. I mean, they've lost more leads after the 7th inning this year than I think the last 7 combined. It's so frustrating.
It is just the law of averages coming back to bite the Tigers. Okay?
They got one guy hitting with runners in scoring
they won
position.
every single one of those games in 2024
Yeah.
in that stretch, in that 31-17 stretch.
Didn't know they were
that
missing
came down
Trey.
to.
They're missing
and
Trey
they won
Sweeney,
all
aren't
of
they?
them, and they won all those same games leading up to the middle of July last year when they started to dump, and then they didn't. They didn't lose close ball games. They got their doors blown off.
Right.
At the end of last season.
And it seemed like the last couple of years, every move that A.J. Hinch made, it worked out. It just worked out.
Yeah.
And then
it can't
it's-
happen
yeah.
forever. It
Well,
just,
he got me on this one. This is something I've never seen before. So the Yankee game the other day was Skubal pitching.
yeah.
They take out their starter.
Yeah.
Outman comes up to pinch hit against a right-handed pitcher. They take the pitcher out, reliever out, and I'm thinking, oh, they're bringing in a lefty for Outman? Wow, that worked. They brought in a righty,
Right.
and he sent Carpenter up to
They
pinch
sent
hit for
Carpenter,
Outman.
right.
They're both left-handed hitters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
No.
We're going to pinch hit a lefty for a lefty, and we're going to burn that lefty. So now in the 9th inning, we have Jake Rogers left on our bench. Let's go, Jake. The offense has been insanely frustrating. I mean, outside of McGonigal and Dingler, going into these at-bats, Riley gets up with runners in scoring position. I'm running to my phone to grab the strikeout prop. It's like, I know he's not going to hit a 3-run homer right here. If you have the chance right now to deal some guys that aren't going to be part of next year's plan, get some bats. You've got to change.
What
You
bats
can't
are
platoon
you getting?
every outfielder.
I just keep going at the bats that are available or that appear to be available are not great.
There's outfielding hitting prospects with a lot of homers. They're going to be a AAA, young major league guy. I mean, I think the Yankees tried to audition a few of them against us this week. You got, looking at their outfield, all of a sudden they're playing everybody. They call up Spencer Jones, who looked horrible, by the way, so he'd be a perfect trade candidate. He's not Aaron Judge. He just struck out a lot and didn't really look too impressive. And, then there was Dominguez. He played. I mean, the Yankees have all these prospects, and they keep talking about Atlanta. And I don't know any asset that Atlanta has other than an injured Spencer Schwellenbach, who's from Saginaw. But
God bless you.
yeah, it's I mean, it's the same problems with the batting order and producing runs, just creating runs. I'm like,
We're 26th in Major League Baseball in run scoring,
the other day they have like a runner on
but
third.
7th in pitching. So I mean, awesome pitching.
Yeah, the pitching's been great, including the bullpen.
Yeah.
The pitching has been great. I mean, you're even getting contributions from Wax Peak.
Yeah, exactly.
And DeJesus, who I don't even know
Right.
where. I think he came from the WBC for a team that got knocked out. But
Right. That's where he kind of got recognized. Was that
there's just all these
baseball
little things that you
Let
see
me ask you a
managers
question.
do, and
Okay,
it just
so,
doesn't happen.
What is the cutoff date here? What the trade deadline is? What,
July 31st.
Is it the 31st?
Yeah.
Okay.
The earlier the better.
So when do you pull the trigger or make it known that Scooble's available?
Well, here's the problem they had last year. Scott Harris won't make a trade until the last 4 seconds of the trade deadline, and by then the packages have fallen apart. I mean, the best deals we saw last year were made a month before the
I
trade
was going to
deadline.
say you get a whole extra month of Scooble. Then I would think I would do it next week.
I mean, just the
bigger
way he
question for
butchered
me is-
Eduardo Rodriguez was enough for me.
I mean, I don't know. Some of the people think that Harris doesn't have the balls to trade Scooble no matter what, which is, I mean, that's just kind of what the scuttlebutt
I can
is.
see it.
So,
Yep.
but you trade Scooble, okay? The pitching staff is still pretty good, right?
Yeah,
The bigger question for me is, do you trade Mize?
Mize, I
Nice.
know.
Right.
That's
And he's cheap right now, too.
he is cheap. He's going to get
But
more
he's-
money. There's
he
no
is.
doubt about it. But I'm just saying, I would go ahead and deal Scooble, and I'd keep Mize.
Yeah,
he
'cause
was a number one draft pick.
Then you had him and Framber. Look at Troy Melton, how well he's
Melton
pitching.
is pitching great.
I mean, gal.
The whole
Jackson
It's
Job
Job.
by next year. I mean,
And Reese
I don't
Olson.
think the pitching is the problem with the Tigers.
Totally agree.
You've got Job and Olsen coming back, and you've already got you got Valdez back. I mean, you've already got 5 starters for
Yeah.
next year with eliminating
Right.
Flaherty and Scooble in 5 seconds.
What do we get for Verlander?
Jake the Snake Rogers.
It just reminds me of that quick little scene from Moneyball. He goes, "What can we get for Magnotti?"
Yeah.
Nothing.
Fill the vending machine.
Yeah.
No, but they're wheeling and dealing, and he goes, "What
I
can we
miss
get
Dave.
for what can we get for Magnotti?"
I miss Dave. I really miss
Nothing.
Dave.
We have to
As he
pay for
shoves-
stuff.
Shoves more popcorn in.
Right.
I got to find
In
Dave.
the
When
locker
when the
room, you
Phillies
gotta
come in
pay
town, I got to find Dave.
So what happens
Got to
if,
make something
when
happen.
the Tigers get their 18-game winning streak?
Oh.
Starting right here, they have to. They have to win the rest of these games against Houston. They're in New York.
Yeah.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
The schedule is not easy right now.
No, it's not.
And if Houston were to sweep them, I think it's over. I thought it was over
Well,
now.
Houston is not going to sweep the Tigers. I'm talking about the Tigers having to win the next 3 games because
I
they're
don't-
on the road to New York.
Right. Well, no, I don't think they're going to. Houston could sweep them. Houston's been playing a lot better,
a
lot better lately.
I'll bet you that.
And Alvarez has been hot.
I'll give you. I'll bet you $100 at 3-1 that the Astros did not sweep the Tigers.
I'd prefer my own show. Forget the $100.
Where's Brandon Sorsby?
Give me an hour. Give me an hour and let me
I
go.
mean, was he want a piece of that action?
I did not play for the Tigers.
Right,
I don't
that's
know.
it.
I know you think that I may have. I have never played for the Tigers.
But I've met a tiger once. Yeah. Stayed at a Holiday Inn Express a bunch of times.
We've got to go to a break here. We'll be back after these words from our fine partners on Up North Sports Radio's Friday Face-Off, brought to us by TVCAirport.com. Welcome back to Friday Face-Off here on Up North Sports Radio, 101.1 WGRY, brought to us by TVCAirport.com. Lindsay Southwell is not available to come to the phone. There's a lot of very cool things happening at Shanty Creek. Lindsay's on Finding Fairways this week's show, by the way.
Very nice.
You can hear that on 9 o'clock here on Saturday or Sunday on Up North Sports Radio. But you got big fireworks happening at Shanty on Friday, July 3rd, celebrating America 250. And that's over Lake Bel Air. You've got a lot of places you can watch the fireworks from. Rich is going to be carved out right next to the prime rib buffet.
Now, the carving station.
What says the 4th of July more than fireworks and prime rib?
That's right.
I played out there on Saturday at Hawkseye. The golf courses are in fantastic shape. And since we've got the holidays coming up, you can play 90 holes for $90. All 5 of the Shanty Creek golf courses, 18 holes each with card included. Available the week after the 4th, July 7th through 10th. You got to book a minimum of 3 nights. The lodging starts at about $165, $187 a night. Call and lock in your reservations, 866-695-5050, or play this weekend, which I think I'm going to.
You should. It's going to be nice. Things are warming up outside.
We're going to have a big heat wave coming up.
Yes.
Guys, I don't know if you saw this. Just speaking of golf for a little bit, and we talk about it on the show tomorrow and Sunday. Did you watch any of the U.S. Open on Sunday?
I was at the Tiger game with my daughter, so I did not. Yeah.
So, Wyndham Clark was winning by a fairly large margin, but he played with Scotty Scheffler. I don't know if you've heard of him or not.
Well, I just know that it was a one-stroke lead with 4 holes to go because he wasn't exactly playing very well. But, he had a rough last day.
He actually shot the exact same score that Scotty Scheffler did. But
he hasn't won a tournament all year.
Well, he is now a 2-time U.S. Open winner.
Yeah,
he held on to win.
Clark, yeah.
But the amount of crap, the booing, outright booing and taunting of Wyndham Clark by the New York fans was insane. It was right almost at the level of the Ryder Cup, which was disgusting.
Yeah.
And this was they threw 6 people off the golf course that were taunting Clark so bad. This is an American that it's one thing in golf. This seems to only happen in New York. One of the things I love about golf is there is etiquette.
Thank you.
You can give the polite golf clap. You can go ahead and cheer for Tiger Woods. But this was obvious. I was surprised that the announcers didn't talk about it more during the tournament. It was a big focus, afterwards.
Yes.
But it was just.
It is, like you said, both of these instances, the last...
On Long Island.
Yes, exactly.
Long Island is a very funny place, and Gordon knows what I'm talking about. You've got talk about the haves and the have-nots on Long Island. You have all these people that have these second homes. All those huge mansions that you see, nobody lives in them. They all come up from Manhattan, to stay there for the weekend. But then you have
staying at the Hamptons.
this low blue collar people that live on the island that are lobstermen and all these construction
hardworking
workers and everything.
people. Yeah,
That's why
Islander
they have.
fans.
That's why the New York Islanders are there. It's
Yep,
the
Islander
yeah,
fans. Yep.
exactly.
One big group
So-
of Dennis Potvins.
100%. They're all Dennis Potvin's children.
Yes, that makes sense. Busy guy.
So yeah, it was jarring to say the least.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. That's terrible now to have two instances within a year to do
And they were
similar-
heckling Rory again.
Yeah,
This
catching strays. I mean, what's up with
this guy, and evidently Rory gave it back to the guy. The guy who was heckling him was really overweight, and Rory's like going, and the guy's like gives him you're right. You
that's
got
great.
me there. I'm
All right,
fat.
yeah,
All right,
exactly.
you're not.
Unlike PCA,
give me another bite of that cheeseburger?
Pico Armstrong didn't get quite the same reaction when he gave it back to that fan that day, did he?
Or you could have been Ty Cobb when you beat the midgets.
Yeah.
Ina Slaughter maybe a couple times. Yeah.
What do you got to
the
say
usual.
now?
Right, yeah.
Oh,
That's all part of the game. It's all part of the game. No, I was just making the point. I was at the PGA when David Graham it's more fascinating almost to watch somebody lead wire to wire and then a massive lead drops down to one shot with 4 holes to go, and all of a sudden you've got a tournament. Because for the first 3 days I didn't watch. It's just like, oh, he's just extending the lead. This is a blowout. It's over.
Well,
What's there to watch?
You knew it was a potential because the
He
golf
had
course
trouble
is so
on the back
hard.
nine.
No,
Oh,
the
my
golf
God.
course is hard.
There's no trees. There's nothing.
It is the hard. I played there. It's ridiculously hard.
Yeah.
It's so easy to putt off the, go back and forth, because it happened to Clark finally.
God,
he had
yeah.
gotten up and down from everywhere.
Right.
And,
And
on
then-
the 5th hole, he tried to chump, get it too cute. Ball comes back to your feet.
Yeah.
I talked to Dan Pohl about it on the golf show. I go, what is that like for a pro?
Right.
And he's like, it's not fun.
Right.
It's just like when it happens to you, Jerry. It's not
not
fun
fun.
at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I mean, another shot. He landed on the green. Ended
Oh,
up
yeah.
20 yards off the
No, that's-
green. It
that's
just
should've
kept
come.
rolling
That is,
and rolling
That
and
is
rolling
that
and
happens
rolling.
enough in the U.S. Opens period. But I mean, that green complex and the way the wind can go and everything else, it's a fascinating place to play golf.
Yeah.
Rich, what is our count for the?
Canoe marathon. We're at 96 now.
What?
We're knocking on the door of a hundo again.
Wow,
So I know.
okay.
I was shocked. Stayed at 92 for a long time. 4 more teams have signed up.
Just briefly. So I talked to Chris Isendorf on the phone because we're trying to get everything together for Pros and
He
Joes.
won the Texas
He
Safari
won
by
the-
himself.
By himself. He was the overall number 1
Yes.
winner. I did not know that because if you looked on their website, it said he finished 3rd.
Yeah, it's confusing.
Yeah,
it's a
very,
weird.
Their
yeah.
website is horrible.
It's weird. Yes. Yeah.
But he has now won in all 3 disciplines of the Texas River Safari.
oh, really?
So he's not paddling in the.
no, he's not because
Yeah.
he's not. I don't
he
see.
and Kyle Minor. So they both participated in the Texas River Safari, and then Chris was telling me the story yesterday. I should have had him on the radio; it'd be great. But so he and Minor finished 2nd or 3rd, and they're like, "We're not. I'm not prepared to do the marathon. I'm a little beat to crap."
Right.
And then, like he said, the next day, Minor called him up and he goes, "No, let's go. We're gonna go. We don't even need to train. We've got all this in our pockets and
Oh,
everything
my
else."
gosh.
And they're like, they hyped themselves into a frenzy.
Sure.
And then the next day, Chris calls him back and goes, "No, we're not doing it."
Reality sets back in. No,
The Red
no.
Bull wore off.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, just-
exactly right.
Yeah.
Just do a Red Bull. We can do
So,
it.
yeah, it had been like 12 years since the overall winner was in a C1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, it was crazy to see him individually win that. That's wild.
Yeah.
Absolutely wild.
So
We're planning on going.
you're
kudos-
coming to Gordon's he's gonna watch
7
the
o'clock.
start for the
Okay,
first time.
with a muzzle.
7 o'clock. I am going to wear my station T-shirt just
With-
for you.
with a muzzle.
Here we are. Q100.3. I've got my
I
shirt.
can't wait to see
I like my shirt.
when he watches the last few people go into the.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And I could just see going, well, what's wrong with those guys?
Right, the initial, all the euphoria, and then we're waiting still for a few
You-
stragglers to come
Yeah.
through. It happens every year.
I'm going to bring some washed
That
up
should
jock
be
shirts.
the
with me.
last one. Oh no, there's more. Trust
I need the washed
All
up
right,
jock shirts. That's it.
Do we have
That's
our,
my guys.
Do we have our pitching matchup for
The
tonight?
last two.
Oh, I did not get
So we
that.
have
Cater,
ti- we
Cater
have
Montero.
We have Tiger baseball on tonight
Against
at
Arrighetti.
6:40. On,
Yeah.
pardon me?
Montero against Arrighetti.
Oh, Getty's having a really good year. This should be a great.
He's like 8-3, 7-2,
Yeah.
8-3.
Oh boy,
Sweet.
Oh boy, here we go.
for those
Sweet.
red hot bats.
Yep.
Gonna
well,
get swept.
uh,
But we got Flaherty
Tiger
on
fan-
Sunday, so we're good.
Yeah, Tiger fans, Tiger baseball on the radio here on Up North Sports Radio, 640. Go Tigers. And on Saturday and Sunday at 9 a.m., you can listen to Finding Fairways here or see it on our YouTube or Facebook channels. That's going to do it for us here on Friday Face Off, brought to us by TVCAirport.com. Back to 97.1 The Ticket.